Well, hello everyone! Don't I just look fabulous? If you're wondering why I'm wearing this, I have no idea why. I just decided I wanted to wear it in a video. See, I got my Christmas present, and apparently, yeah, I have some strange interest, and people know that. I got this as a Christmas present that my mom sent with a whole bunch of other stuff. She sent me, if you're watching my other video, Halloween based shirts. You know, the shirts like at Walmart that you find during Halloween. But she also did get me this, which says I love you to the moon and back. I'm definitely wearing this one because I couldn't show it in the other video because when I was filming, my camera ran out of memory and it cut at that point, and I did not know that. So now you get to see it if you haven't, and you get to see my little squish nose in here because this doesn't fit all that great, but it fits better than the butterfly one, which is very disappointing because the butterfly one is quite pretty, but it kind of goes up on my eyes and I can't see, so I can see out of this one. Yeah, the mask really has nothing to do with the video I'm going to do, but I thought it would be just kind of fun to wear it. So it is top 10 Tuesday for me, but before I start, I want to, you know, it's getting to the end of the year, so I just kind of want to give out a shout out to everyone that follows me on here, the few on Tumblr, the ones on Twitter, whatever, and people I've talked to and I'm becoming friends with, and you know, you guys all rock. Thank you for your support and everything, and I definitely look forward to everything you guys have for the rest of the year and the next coming years. And yeah, I think we're just gonna like totally rock YouTube and everything else. So yeah, just keep on rocking, guys. I am just like feeling okay today. I had a good day at work, you know, pretty good. Had a lot of fudge, coffee, a little bit of soda, which I'm trying to cut back on. And so, yeah, I guess the night is ending okay. So, let's get on with my Top 10 Tuesday. So, I have pretty much decided that I am a huge Hunger Games fan girl. Or, you know, I'm 28. Should I call myself a fan woman? Or is fangirl just kind of like universal for all ages? I don't know. I don't mind fangirl because I am a total fangirl of this series. Despite its flaws, I have my issues with it, but there's still parts of it I love. Yes, even parts of Mockingjay, even though it's my least favorite. And I keep saying So, yeah. Let's see. So, my Top 10 Tuesday will be 10 Not Katniss characters, because I want to save her for another list. I plan in the future when I read more and watch more TV or movies or whatever, I want to do a list of strong female characters. So I didn't want to put one character on like multiple lists because you'll get tired of hearing about it. And as much as I love the series, you'll probably hear about her a lot in other characters. I don't know how Harry Potter is going to go, because I really do love Harry Potter too, despite the fact that I've only read 3 of the books. And I am planning on doing book to movie reviews, so sorry guys, you'll be getting, you know, the 7 books. Well, there's technically 8 movies, but I'm not splitting up the 2. I will watch both and then review it, just like Mockingjay. I'm waiting to see both parts. I haven't seen any of them. I'm waiting to see both parts, and then I will review Mockingjay as a whole book and the 2 movies all together. So just be prepared for the future. There will be like 7 Harry Potter just book to movie reviews, and then of course I will one day do my top 10 Harry Potter characters, and there will be several Harry Potter videos. Just be thankful right now that The Hunger Games is only a trilogy. So, on with my book obsessions. So, like I said, it is my 10 non-Katniss characters. So at number 10, I have Clove. Now, Clove was only in the first book. She was one of the careers. And, you know, if I had to pick, like, an actual villain, you know, of course there's President Snow, but I guess that's one that's kind of, that would be, like, used a lot and everything. And, I mean, Clove was just so evil in her own way. I mean, you kind of felt bad for her in some ways, because, you know, it's the Capitol that created these games and everything else, and, you know, when you go into this arena, you're going in the hopes of surviving and everything, and you really don't have too much of a choice on it. And, you know, in their districts, they're raised this way to be these killers and everything. And, you know, she's just kind of a product of her society. She's been raised to survive and to hold on to any kind of honor that they can get. I mean, they make the rest of the country watch their children die, and so it's kind of like some districts have just tried to, you know, make an honor thing out of this, and it's just there's like no winning in any situation you have. And but she herself, she was probably the most darkest one. I think maybe even more than Kato to some degree, because she was just a bitch to some degree, to a big degree. She really had that, like, killer instinct, you know, inside of her, and she was just kind of like this minor villain. But she's also different from Snow in the fact that she didn't have the privileges of choosing a lot of things as the people in the Capitol do. But she was still pretty badass as a minor villain, kind of, you know, villain tragedy kind of thing. So number 9, I have Plutarch, which is Plutarch Heavensby. I thought he was very clever in some of the things he did as a game maker and rebel leader. You kind of had your ups and downs with him, because something seemed for his own personal agenda, but then again, you know, he was doing some of the right things, but he also kind of thought like a capital leader, which caused some problems and everything. So, you know, I like when characters aren't like totally perfect. It makes them a little bit more human. And he's a minor character, but I still like the character. Number 8 is Joanna, or Johanna, however you want to say it. Joanna Mason. Joanna, in a way, I think is kind of like Katniss in some ways. You know, she's kind of torn between... She's a little bit more of a tough girl than Katniss is, really. But she does have that softer side to her. She is one of those people that built up this wall, and, you know, she's just her own person, and she's like pretty badass with an axe and everything. and she wasn't snobby or anything, but like I said, she just was a person who tried to protect herself, but at the same time still cared about others. The next one is number 7, which is Mags. And Mags was the mentor for Finnick and, of course, a few other people. Despite the fact that she won one of the early games, and she's like, I think in her 80s, so she's older than the games, and she's seen so much horror and devastation. She still comes off as a very sweet, elderly lady in some ways. And, she does make a sacrifice of herself and everything. And, it's kind of hard to believe from her character from the book and the movie that she participated or, she was forced into these games and she was able to win. I don't know if it ever said how she won, but still, she had to outlive 23 other kids. And yeah, she just seemed so sweet, and she really was about, the cause. And like I said, she had to sacrifice for them to go on, for the life of the future people of Panem to be better, if you really think about it. And her, her volunteering for Annie and everything, she knew what was going to happen in there. I mean, especially at her age and everything. So she was a very selfless character in many ways. Number 6 is Prim, which is Katniss's little sister. I just love the bond that they have, and she's not a brat or anything. She's, into healing and helping people and working hard. She kind of was like this nurse kind of thing, I guess you would say, like in Mockingjay and stuff. So she's not like those typical younger brats or anything you hear about all the time that's so played out on TV and in books and everything else. She is, her own character in a way. I mean, we hear it from Katniss's voice, but still, she was her own she was her own person. She had a personality that was different from Katniss, and it wasn't immature or anything. She was strong and hopeful and believed in her sister, and she supported her. Number 5 is Finnick. Finnick had just like these multiple layers. He wasn't just this pretty boy or anything. He actually had a darker past, and he was a rebel, and he fought for what he believed in. And, I mean, he had humor and charm and everything else. Number 4 is Rue. Rue, her story was so sad. One of the saddest moments in the book and then the movie. Oh, that was acted out so well. She was another one that was very well-rounded. I mean, she was like Prim in a lot of ways. She had her own personality. And, she was sweet and kind and selfless. She helped Katniss, despite the fact that they were in a game that's, this fight to the death and everything. She was a lot like Katniss as a younger version. And she had her own talents, and she believed in herself, and she believed in other people. And, she believed in their strength and what they could do, and that, that you have to keep going. So, number 3 is Haymitch. Image is another multi-dimensional person, as many of them are. You know, he's been through so much, and he's a drunk for the most part. But he really does care about Katniss and Peeta. He cares about the rebellion, and, you know, he's fighting his own demons and everything, and trying to stay strong for these kids, despite the fact of what they say about him, what other people say. You know, he's fighting himself and then trying to protect these kids. You know, he had his weaknesses and his strengths, and just more realistic. Cinna. Cinna is number 2. Cinna, I would love him to be my stylist because he made Katniss some fantastic outfits. And he was from the capital, or we don't know if he was from the capital. I don't know if you can move up in the districts. That was never explained in the books, in the movies. Well, I haven't seen Mockingjay, the movie, but so far it has been explained if anybody can move up or down or whatever besides the victors. But, you know, obviously he did not support his government and their decisions. So he is a symbol of that just because you come from somewhere doesn't mean you have to be this mindless follower and do what everyone else there is doing. Just because things are dangerous doesn't mean that you can't, in a way, stand up for what you believe in, and that sometimes that you have to take risks. And, you know, he cares about people that he didn't know, and he knows that what they're doing in his city and everything was wrong, and, you know, he stood up against that injustice, and he's kind of that symbol of that you don't have to be what these people want you to be. You can be better. You don't have to follow the crowd. You can stand up against injustice and everything else that's wrong. So, my number 1 pick is Peeta. I'm usually not the romance person. I can take it or leave it, but Peeta and Katniss were very sweet together. Well, to some degree. I mean, more Peeta to Katniss than anything else. Because, well, Katniss was kind of faking it at first. Peeta's love was always real. And it wasn't just that, oh my god, you're so pretty, and you don't talk like other girls, or your hair doesn't flow like other girls, or whatever. It was genuine love. He remembered the songs she knew, and how her hair looked, and, you know, he talks about the effect that she has on people. He really, really did love Katniss. And, you know, he was willing to die at one time because he could not stand to be without her. And there was never a point in time that he ever wanted to stop her from seeing people. He never stopped her from seeing Gale. He never really was jealous. That was always freaking Gale, and Gale always drove me nuts. Peeta was like this really sweet guy that genuinely cared about people, and he just wanted to do good. He wanted to do what he could to protect his family, to protect Katniss, and just to make her happy. And the only thing he wanted was just to be with her. And if he couldn't, you know, it was his life versus hers. You know, he would end his and everything. I always just thought Peeta was so sweet in so many ways. So that is my Top 10 Tuesday. I know I rambled a little bit. I am so sorry, but again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.